across this turn, indicating a length down the slope. What a shot. What a shot. Is it? Oh, would you believe that? Rory McIlroy. What a round of golf. It's one outside the Augusta course record.
Hold back. Here it comes. Oh my goodness. This is way more aggressive than I anticipated. Oh, man! What a shot! I'd say that's pretty good. Whoa!
Hello and welcome to the Putting for Dough show, the only place you need to get all your golf DFS information and content. I'm Mark, joined tonight by Jack. Nick can't make it. He's doing some DIY, I think, or something. Anyway, Jack, how are you doing?
Yeah, rumor has it that Nick is missing the show tonight after his dreadful performance in the podcast host league last week. So
this means he's winning this week, yeah?
Yeah, of course. You know what he's like. He doesn't turn up, doesn't he? That's what normally happens with Nick.
Yeah.
I tell you what, me and you had some battle.
Ridiculous, wasn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. So for those of you who don't know, me and Jack, we barely spoke last week about anything golf related because I was busy. And then in the pod host league, we ended up picking 5 of the same players out of 6. So it basically came down to Keith Mitchell versus Corey Connors. And Connors finished 1 stroke lower. So Jack took the win.
Yeah. And we are all up at 3 apiece. So
yeah, that is mad, isn't it? 9 weeks, 3 apiece.
Yeah, it's mad, really. Yeah, like I say, that was a long overdue win for me, actually, to be fair. But I was made to sweat for it. Jesus Christ! I was hoping Killer Keith would go full Keith down that road there, and he quite do. Connors struck the ball so well last week. He just can't putt for his life. Like it's just it's so infuriating. But yeah, no, it was another good week in Golf Streets. Double ups are king as usual. We keep banging the drum for double ups. 3 of my core made the cut. It was quite funny actually. I had a troll on Twitter come at me. First golf troll of the ever since I've been writing golf for 2 years now. And my first troll was like, well, it's not hard when you pick Rahm and Rory. I was like, it's kind of my strategy for starters, what I'm doing. And just because Rory doesn't seem to make the cut, Maury Coward make the cut last week, for instance. Doesn't mean they're guaranteed to make the cut for starters. Yes, they're great players, but I give my core away, and that is the strategy I deploy within tournaments. And it was the correct strategy. I Grillo, as you know. There was a bit of a debate about that in our in the tracker group. Someone said to me about it, saying, "I'm surprised you've got there in his current form." But I just looked deeper into the course history at that place. He had very, very good course history there, and it's kind of a hard reset for these Florida. I kind of just dismiss kind of what they've done on the west coast of America. They get onto these Bermuda greens, it's a different surface to putt on. It's not as tricky as that Poa stuff that they putt on over on the west coast. But yeah, Grillo come through for me, made the cut. His performance was just weird. Led the field in strokes gained tee to green, was dead last in strokes gained putting.
Probably his worst putting ever. Probably. Worst putting performance ever.
Absolutely amazing stuff. For the guy that come at me on Twitter, in the words of Pat Mayo, get fucked, pal. Yeah, like I've just blocked this guy in the end anyway. But it was, my strategy was right. I went for two guys in the 6K. I went for Webb, who went nuclear on Sunday. He went 6 under on Sunday. I couldn't believe it. So I had Webb in there. It was the correct strategy. I've looked at all the optimals. Basically, all the guys that have won had 2 guys in A range and then 2 guys from up. I just didn't have the right combination this week. Again, I've hit the strategy, just not getting the right combination. We'll find that evening to everyone. We're doing the pod in the Chelsea Champions League game. Some of us got kids, some of us are, got lives. And
also, you're a bit disillusioned, aren't you? But that's another pod.
Also, I can't watch football. The guy needs to go. I don't care Chelsea are winning now. He needs to go. Yeah, so good week in Golf Streets again. Anyway, mate, I had a right sweat. I don't know if you saw my betting card.
Yeah.
What a sweat I had down the back 9 there. I had Hatton, Hovland and Rory all in contention, and none of them wanted to win. Kirk Kitayama come through. No, I know Nick was on Rory and Hatton as well, so we were all made to have a little, like, a bit of a sweat there, but it was good fun. Evening, guys. Yes, I know. We're not. This is a golf show. I'm not talking NFL tonight. It's a golf show.
So far, you've had Chelsea and Giants so far from the comments. There you go.
A good week, Mark.
Yeah.
I was a bit annoyed with Rory's comments. I don't know if you saw them. Have you seen them comments that he made?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I saw his comments about how Liv has made the game better. Is that the ones you mean?
Oh no, that wasn't. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm on about his comments about Bailey. He went, nobody wants to watch people making bogeys down the straight. We do, pal. We want to see. No one wants to see you go 24 under on like a putting contest golf course. If that's the case, Rory, you can skip one of those elevated events. Go and play the tournament of the champions at the start of the year and score 30 under around it. Absolutely disgraceful comments from him. Absolutely disgraceful. I could go on. I'm not going to. Mark, how was your week last week?
Yeah, well, mine was pretty good as well. All 4 of my cut makers made it this week. Addressing the point about the Rory Rahm thing and stuff, 2 things. In my tournaments, I did the same as you. It was all, my multi-entry was all Rory and Rahm in every lineup, plus Hatton or Fowler. But on the cut makers core that I do, I got 4 or 4 through, but like, for example, if those 4 from last week, you would have had over 16,000 left with the money. So I'm not picking Rory, Rahm, Scheffler, Cantlay, whatever, etc., because I know all 4 of those are going to make the cut. But we're coming up with a lineup of 4 which you can use, and then you've got plenty of money to spend for the next 2. This week's exactly the same. I think it's just under 8,000 per player left for the ones, because I've already sent you for the newsletter this week. I think the week before that was even more. So, you're getting, the stuff we're talking about here, which has been really good. We've been completely on fire for weeks now. It's all stuff you can use to make actual lineups. Like, it's literally not going through the top 5 most expensive and saying that they're good players, because they are good players. You don't need that analysis or help. The point about these high-priced players, I think, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, is you still need a strategy on how to use them. You still do. So we're going to talk about that a lot, I think, tonight, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I try to do with my. It's the same as you with your cut makers. You're trying to build a team of 4 there, give people some options with some money left over. Kind of thing. What I have in my core, I'm not. Yeah, I give you 2. In these elevated events, I've played the same pretty much every time. I've gone for the 2 guys up the top, and then I'm getting 1 guy in the 6K range, and then it's up to you. Then you can build the rest of that team for fun. By me going down into the 6K range, allowing you to go back up into the 7K range, which has been very favourable over the last few weeks. That's the strategy I deploy. I don't know what this guy's problem. Everyone knows. I didn't even respond to
Doesn't
blocked
matter.
it. Just like I can't be bothered
Yeah,
with people
no,
like you. I'm just.
I think it's fair enough.
You
Is
like
it, they're going to be most golf shows give you about like 5 players or 6 players from the 9K, which are good plays, etc. and stuff. We're not doing that and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, there you go. So yeah, all did very well
And
last
David
week. I
said
think.
there's not makers in the place.
Yeah, I think David might be slightly biased though, because he does kind of like us. Um,
Don't know why.
okay. No, I don't know why either, because all you do is abuse him on WhatsApp. Shall we move on to the Players Championship this week? I do believe it's
Yeah,
the PGA
let's
event with the most
do it.
prize money, 25 million. Before we do before we start with the course preview, let's plug all of your content, Jack. Let's get that done nice and early.
Well, the newsletter. Yeah, again, I had someone not come at me, but someone questioned why we bring it out on a Wednesday night. The reason why we do that is so we can give you the most up-to-date weather report for starters, and that's kind of when I kind of make my final mind up on stuff. Even then, it's not 100%. It's sort of like I'd say 97% set by then. Sometimes I change my mind early Thursday morning, but that's the best time for us. I'm going to continue putting it out on Wednesday evening. But yeah, sign up to the newsletter completely for, as Marcus said, we are hitting a ridiculous rate at the minute. It will come crashing down at some point, but if you haven't signed up over the last few weeks, you've lost out on money. Like we're just printing money by giving all this stuff out for free. The fan team tracker, season long golf tracker, that's out still. That's $3.99 if you want to get at me up. It is and ridiculous that I've kept it at that still. You know, I spent season bump on it, Mark.
Also, the next few weeks it's going to be so crucial. The next few weeks it's going to be so crucial. Anyway.
Most definitely. We will also have a match play bracket thing open for the match play, which is the same week as the course. So we'll get something set up for that. So look out for that on the PFD show Twitter handle. And the DK Listener League is already open for this week. There's about 4 spaces left. So if you're not in, get in now.
Whoa.
The link is in the description of this. The link is in the description of this video, so get involved now. I've rolled over the NFT giveaway because I won Listener League last week. So I rolled over NFT giveaway to this week. So yeah, get involved. 4 spaces left. Free, top 3 only. DraftKings, never played it before.
Cool. Now let's try and get through the course preview this week, Jack, with your dodgy internet line. Let's see how we do with that.
Yeah, sorry, I've got really bad signal tonight. It's TPC, so we go to TPC Sawgrass, which is in Florida. It's a Pete Dye designed golf course, and then it got redesigned again by Pete Dye in 2016. The length for this place is a par 72, and it's 7,256 yards long. There's water hazards everywhere on this place. The water comes into play on 17 holes. So don't give me a running commentary of water balls, please, this week, because there's going to be a lot of water balls this week. The fairways are Bermuda. The rough is Bermuda as well. And the greens are Bermuda grass with overseed of TPC Sawgrass ranked 8th for 38 golf courses last year. On par 3 difficulty, sorry. So, you know, the par 3s of this place, although they're short, they're quite short par 3s, but they're very difficult. Obviously, the most famous par 3 on this golf course is the hole 17 Island Green. I'm not a fan of that. I've made my feelings clear on that, but hey-ho. It also features the third most difficult set of par 4s on the PGA Tour last year. But finally, there is some par 5s on here that give some respite to the players, and this is where they're going to be making their birdies and eagles this week. Historic cut around this golf course 2 over par. And the winning sort of score around here is around 13 under par each year. So it's a tough golf course. It's even tougher if the gets up. We saw that last year. It was ridiculous last year. I'm not going to go into it. I've taken everything to do with last year out of my model because I don't care. It's stupid. They shouldn't have been playing in it. But yeah, it's a nice golf course. Like I say, Pete Dye, just a typical Pete Dye design golf course, full of water, full of bunkers. Tough golf. Tough place to get around.
Brilliant. Your internet did well there. So it stayed up. Excellent. So, bearing all that in mind, and I made a special note of this, so don't forget to mention it this time. I'm in charge. What makes up your model this week, Jack?
We'll have to let you go first on that because I'm having to load a new tab. I'm trying to keep all my tabs.
Okay, I'll start with mine then. Strokes gained off the tee and strokes gained approach are the two most important for me. All strikers seem to do well here historically. You're going to hear that on every single content show. And then it's a pair down because it's so important. It's actually quite a bit of a pair down model for me this week. So I've got birdie or bets, implied win, putting on 5 scoring, a little tiny bit of course history, and a tiny bit of hard course types. But that's me done. Only 8 Ks this.
Yeah, I've got similar sort of stuff to you. So I've got strokes gained off the tee, good drive percentage, strokes gained on the approach. That's my key weighted one this week, strokes gained on the approach. Strokes gained around the green. I've got sand safe percentage. I mentioned there's a lot of bunkers on this place. Strokes gained putting on Bermuda greens. I've got par 5 scoring. As I mentioned, that's where the golfers are going to have to do their damage this week. Be getting eagles and birdies. Scrambling, opportunities gained, and in the comp history, I've got TPC Sawgrass, which is this place, Sedgefield, PGA West Stadium courses, which is where they play the Amex, which John Rahm won. It's similar sort of design. Again, it's a course, and Harbour Town, which is host of the RBC Heritage.
Excellent. So, bearing all that in mind, let me get my screen up. Create a line. Is that one? Let's hope it's this one. I think it is that one. So, where are we? Let's start with the 10Ks. Sorry, I'm just having to move around a bit differently to what I would do. Here we go. Let's start with the 10Ks. So 10K above, 4 golfers this week. John Rahm 11.8, Rory McIlroy 11 exactly. Scott Scheffler at 10.6 and Xander Schauffele at 10K. We had an interesting discussion about this range, didn't we, earlier today?
We did. I think a certain amount of ownership is going to drop on a certain player this week, and because he had a bit of a bad time at the API where he never plays well, he still he still looks like John Rahm to me on that. I'm going straight back at the drop of the again. I'm going straight back to him. At the minute, I've actually just watched his press conference on the Players preview show. He was just stated in there that he found the water 2 or 3 times last week and kind of derailed him a little bit. Easy to do. Again, he could do that here, but he's the best player in the world. He's the hottest player in the world, and I'm getting a drop in ownership. I'm definitely going back to him. Number 1 in my model as well. No surprise.
Yeah, me too. I think if people aren't picking him because of his price, I kind of understand that because 11.8 is quite a high price for your top golfer. But if people aren't picking him because he came 39th last week, then they don't really understand golf, I don't think. And he's
no.
I just think it's funny. I think he's approximately right now, if you look at it, he's projected to be about the 10th highest owned or something like that, which is just madness, really. Absolute madness. But yeah, there you go. He's actually not number 1 in my model, but he's my favorite play just because of ownership. Rory's number one in my model, but he's going to be number one in lots of people's models.
Yeah.
You know, you see, he had a 32nd and a 29th, and then he had a second. So, you know, this idea that he'll be low owned, it just seems mad to me. But let's take advantage of it, Jack. You know, as I said to you earlier, it's like
I'm quite happy.
I'm going Derek Henry.
Yeah, no, look, I'm just going to go back there. I don't care. No, I like Rory up the top as well. Sorry, my signal is just so bad tonight.
We can hear you well now.
It's terrible. Yeah, I'm just going to go eat the chalk at the top again this week. I'm probably going to have a similar lineup to what I had last week. I'm probably going to have 2 from the top again, and I don't really care. Guess what? That might be my cup makers. Maybe I should unblock that guy so he can come at me again.
It's funny. I was thinking this only this evening. I was thinking it is elevated defense. I'm picking very similar players at the moment. There you go.
You're just picking the best players in the world. It's not hard, is it? Like, just the best players, and you know they're going to come through.
Yeah.
I don't see why people try and get cute. All I see at the minute is people trying to jam in Morikawa when he's playing absolutely terrible. We know he can't play in the wind. If the wind gets up around it, I know we're not in the 9K range yet, Mark, but like if the wind gets up around it, we know he's going to struggle. Sorry?
We might as well be. Let's bid it. There's only 6 players in the 9K range anyway. So yeah, continue with Colin Morikawa.
Well, I don't get why people are trying to jam him in that range. People think they're getting a discount on it, but people just think it's a great idea to play, like, get him in. He's been terrible, absolutely terrible. He was terrible at API. He was good at Genesis, obviously. Missed the cut at Phoenix the week before that. It's on off at the minute with Morikawa. Again, we just know he can't play in the wind. We know the wind.
Yeah.
I think it's a very easy fade, and I don't really care what ownership he's going to come in at, to be honest. I'm just going to stay away from him. In the 9K range, there's a lot of guys I do like. I do like Homer. Homer was absolutely striking the ball beautiful last week at API. Like, I watched the API last week. He was hitting a lot of second shots into the green to like 7 foot from the cup, but he just couldn't make a putt. He couldn't make a putt last week. And we know putting's a weird stat anyway. It can flip like on a dime, kind of, so to speak. So it's just I'm quite happy to go back to Homer. I like Cantlay. I didn't particularly like Cantlay before in Florida. Cantlay's notorious, like notoriously bad in Florida as a golfer. I mentioned it on the show last year, like, that about all of these had come on the west coast of America, but he was excellent last week at the API. 4th there, 3rd at Genesis. I think he's kind of found something within his game. I would not be surprised to see Patrick Cantlay win this tournament this week. I will be starting builds with Rahm. I think the second guy in might be Scheffler, but if the second guy in is not Scheffler, I think it's going to be Cantlay.
Yeah, he's 7th in my model, Cantlay, and his ownership's expected to be very high. Yeah, he's 7th in mine.
He's 4th.
Yeah, he's actually.
I've got my model up. He's 4th in my model.
Yeah, he's the highest ranked 9K player for me, and then Tony Finau comes after that for me. But I don't think there's many bad plays here. Obviously, because it's 9K. But I'm staying away from Morikawa. I'm staying away from Justin Thomas. So that's just me.
I like Justin Thomas. I when the wind got up at API last week, he played excellent. Like, he was ahead of the field, and I did put a tweet out at the time when I was watching it, and he likes playing in the wind. really, really likes playing in the wind. He's a really, when the conditions get tough, he's a really good player. Like, I don't mind Justin Thomas. I wouldn't say he's my favorite. I think the favorite two in this range are probably for me are Cantlay and Homer. Then I don't like Sung Jae Im. He's just played too much golf. I mentioned it last week. I know he done okay at API last week, Sung Jae, but he's just played too much golf recently, and I don't think I can get back there to him just yet.
Yeah, it's I kind of agree with you. I think me, Homer, Cantley, and Finau are my favourite three, and then the rest of them I'm not that fussed about them. However, I do very much like the 8K range, which actually has in it Victor Hovland, Will Zalatoris, Jordan Spieth, Matt Fitzpatrick, Cameron Young, Hideki Matsuyama, Tyrrell Hatton, Shane Lowry, Tom Kim, and Jason Day. So I think got lots of players we could talk about here. Jack, but who's your favourite?
I'll let you go first on this one. Go on, because I'm just trying to load something else up.
For me,
no, on my computer.
Yeah, for me, it's been Tyrrell Hatton for weeks now. Anybody who reads the newsletter, it's pretty much like a Tyrrell Hatton fanzine at the moment. He just makes cuts. I can't even remember the last time he didn't make a cut. It's crazy. At a fourth last week, it was in with a chance of actually winning it. But yeah, he didn't like so many others. He just fell on the last hurdle. Yeah, Eminem. Yes, he's definitely my favourite, and my second favourite is Will Zalatoris, who I've actually put both of them out as a bet, but Will Zalatoris is fourth in my model, and yeah, those are my favourite two. But to be honest with you, I have got 1, 2, 3. I've got so many of the 8Ks in the sort of top 15 in my model.
Yeah,
I could happily build a lineup with just those guys.
I'd say Day is my favourite in this range at 8K. He ranks third in my model this week. He's a former Players Champion. Obviously, he's won this tournament before. Did win it. Didn't really mention that in the course preview, actually. I should mention that now. That the Players Championship used to be played in May. It changed to March 2019, so might be worth just running your model back to 2019 here rather than before, because obviously in May the conditions it's a lot. The whole place is just harder because it's baked out, so to speak. Whereas a bit more softer now in the in March. But yeah, I do like J Day. He's been brilliant, hasn't he? Really, like
4 top 10s.
Resurgence for J Day this year. Yeah, 4 top 10s back to back. One was at API last week where he's never really played well or done well at, so that was encouraging to see. Yeah, quite happy. He ranks third in my model this week, like I say. Good course history, we know that. One round here. The recent course history is not going to be particularly. He's just been. I'm just looking at it now. He had a miscut in 2022. Before that, he went 35th, 8th, and 5th. So even when he's been playing bad, he's coming here doing well. I do like J Day this week quite a bit. I'm with you. I like Hatton. He's so funny. He was making me laugh at the API last week. Just ball, doing all hand signals towards it. I mean, he's just simply brilliant. I tell you what, Jordan Spieth last week had me on full tilt in the WhatsApp group. I was infuriated by him because he should have hit ball into the water, somehow stayed out. How only Jordan Spieth does. There was about 2 or 3 other shots that he got away with, and I was like, he's going to win this tournament. I can just see it now. He's going to win the tournament, and he's going to put me on full tilt. Thankfully, he didn't. I think he's injured his back as well.
Yeah,
he was kept going last week, so I think he's a bit of a fade. His course history here as well is absolutely terrible. There's 3 missed cuts in the last 5 in the 41st. So the course history is not great for Jordan Spieth. I think he's an avoid in this range. I'm the Salvatore still. Pretty much what last after making the cut. Missed the cut. He was lucky that cut stretched out to +2 in the end because I think that's what he finished up on. I'm going to stay away from Zalatoris, and I just need to. I need to see more from him with the health wise. I like Matt Fitzpatrick. Good 14th finish last week. Seems to be getting a little bit healthier. He had a really good Sunday at the API 69 carded there, so I don't mind going to Matt Fitzpatrick in this range. And I do like Victor Hovland. I'm worried how mentally scarred Victor Hovland might be from last week. He perhaps should have won that tournament, but yeah, they're the guys I like in this range. None of these guys though are really sort of a pop in my model. Let's say the 8K range, third in my model is Jason Day from the 8K range, and then ninth in my model is Tyrrell Hatton at 8,300. Then it's Victor Hovland at 10. So they're the guys in the 8K range from my model that are popping.
Yeah, I've got 4 of them in the top 10. So, as I say, way more if you go even down to 15. Anyway, we'll move on to the 7Ks. That's also really good. Really good area. I'll just quickly mention my top 2, which aren't actually. They're outside the top 10, but it's coincidentally enough, Jack, it's Connors and Mitchell, our 2 dueling golfers from last week, are my top 2 ranked 7K golfers this week. What about yourself?
Yeah, I do like Connors. He just can't putt. Surprisingly, Matt Kuchar, he ranks 5th in my model this week. That must be a lot of course history for Matt Kuchar. I don't think I can get to him, to be honest. But Brian Harman, I mean, he's been terrible, but he ranks 12th in my model this week. I've got Adam Hadwin inside my top 20 at 7,100. Yeah, none of these guys are really popping. I probably need to do a deeper dive into some of these guys. Seamus Power, 7,400. He's 19th in my model. And then Ricky Fowler. I'll go back to Ricky again this week. He's obviously a former Players Champion as well. Definitely found something within his game this week. So I'm definitely going to go back to Fowler this week.
Yeah, how Brian Harman's got into your model, I don't know. He's just been in terrible form. But there you go. So
I think it's probably more course history with him here. I think he does.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I got anybody else. I got Wyndham Clark's in my top 20. Matt Kuchar's in my top 20 as well, funnily enough. So yeah, there you go. And weirdly enough, this week we've actually got I've actually got some golfers in the 6Ks I'll be quite happy to play. We've actually got, he's not particularly high on my model or anything, but we've got last week's winner, Kurt Kitayama, a 6'9". You don't often see that. But yeah, I definitely got a couple here. What about you, Jack? Let you go first.
Are you going to go back to Kitayama?
So no. I was just saying he's in now. I was just saying it's unusual to have a
I'm back.
winner previous week at 6'9". So yeah. Anybody you like in this range, Joe?
So I'm just loading up my model. My signal just. Sorry guys, this is terrible tonight. I'm gonna just go nuts at the internet after I've done this. Brendan Todd actually. Brendan Todd ranks 14th in my model. Yeah, I need to do some deeper dives into that. I do like. He had a fantastic last round, didn't he, at the API under?
Yeah.
So I don't know what I can't remember how much Simpson is. I can't find 800. I'll probably go back there. Webb's a bit of a it's a dodgy one to go to. There's definitely a tournament play. I wouldn't be playing him in cash lineups or anything like that. He's got a good course history around here as well. Former Players Champion himself actually as well. So
yeah, I've seen I've seen Davis Riley's been getting talked up quite a bit. He's 31st in my model. I've got a play in the 6Ks in the newsletter tomorrow, which you'll want to check out. Also, like Johnny Vegas as well. He ranks out pretty well. So yeah, where is he? He's 16th in my model. So I think there's options down here, which I think which make your sort of two high-priced golfers a really, really viable option this week.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely guys down there. I'll go back to Grillo because I'm a degenerate like that. I believe that putting can come round, and if he does what he done with the ball last week, I'm quite happy to go back to Grillo. I like Vegas, like you've mentioned. I like Scott Stallings down here. I've had him a couple of times this season. He's been quite reliable. He's missed the last two cuts, been quite reliable. Other than that, watch out for Benny Ann. We've used Benny Ann a few times this year. Coming in with a bit of a wrist injury, I believe. Kid down here as well. He's a reliable cut maker. I mean, he hasn't missed a cut since the American Express. There's loads of guys that you can cut. Robbie Shelton's down here, another guy we've used. I like Justin Sir down here. Great course history. Really good last three events for him. Fifth at the Arizona. Aaron Wright, who had me on last week when he was like top 5 at one point. I'll probably go back. There's loads. Russell Knox. You could really get different down there this week. The good iron at the API on Sunday. I'm going to first.
Nick's favourite Luke Lister's down here as well.
Dan Ryder, 6,300. Yeah, I'm not playing Luke List.
No, okay, fine.
I'm not playing Luke List. No. Joseph Bramlett down there. He's missed the last cut at the Arnold Palmer, but before that, he made the cut at Honda, Pebble Beach. He was 7th there, so I don't mind. He's 6,200. Like, quite happy to play him down here.
He's missed one cut in 10 or something like that.
You know, exactly. Eric Cole's another one. I know he missed the cut last week, but second at Honda the week before that. 15th at Pebble Beach. Quite to go back to Eric Cole at 6. There's loads of you. I think you can get. I think 6K range and then build a very, very nice lineup this week.
Yep, I agree. Shall we try and do that then? We'll get in a. Have you? Oh, we missed.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's answer these questions first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look.
Is it worth moving off Morikawa? Yeah. Is it worth moving off Morikawa in season long? Only got 4 transfers, and with the 3 tournaments coming up with a weaker field, maybe a transfer is too valuable. I think if you're playing season long, I think you keep him in. We're just talking from a daily fantasy purpose. I'm not playing him. And we've got another one. Rory Rahman Scotty is your favourite for the top 20. Beside Rory Rahman Scotty, who's my favourite for a top 20? Patrick Cantlay.
For a top 20, I'd say
I think he wins. I think he wins.
I see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Cantlay wins. So.
Yeah. So that'd be a pretty good bet. Okay, are we all caught up on those now? We are.
Cool. Let's build a team.
So hopefully let's start with Rahm. Start with Rahm, and which other high-priced player do you want to put in? Cantlay?
Yeah, stick Cantlay in, and then we can do my build kind of thing. Then we're going the 6K range. Yeah. Let's stick in. We both like Vegas, didn't we?
Vegas in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas is in.
Do you want to get another 6K guy in? Go right down to the bottom, like 6'2" guy, and then.
Yeah, who's the 6'2" guy? Eric Cole? Who? Sorry,
Eric Cole or Bramlett? One of them two.
Oh yeah,
Eric Cole or Bramlett.
I think Bramlett's more consistent. There you go. Then we're in the 7s now.
Yes, you can get a low 7 guy, well, mid 7 guy in if you wanted to, and then go back up into the 8s.
You could go for like a Connors, and then you got 8-1, which
Mitchell at 7.
No, I put in Connors because I prefer him this week, but they're both the same price.
Okay.
So and then we're like
Well,
this early
8-1. You
7th.
put Jason Day in, I think.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That is a top lineup. There's
I
a
like
milli
that
maker
lineup a lot.
there's a milli maker to play for this week as well. So like I think you have to do something like play a 6-2 player for that sort of thing, I think. Should we just try something?
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's just try something with the 8s, like Hovland and Tyrrell.
Okay.
And then we're down here. We didn't
Who
talk
have you stuck
about
in?
it.
Hovland and Tyrrell.
Yeah, Hovland, Zalatoris, and Tyrrell. I know you don't like Zalatoris. I got rid of him. I was trying to build a really, really balanced team.
Okay.
We didn't really talk about it, but God, Adam Scott has been so consistent. It's crazy. He's probably not going to win it.
I think I'd rather play for Gala, though.
Yeah.
No, I think I'd
Okay.
play for Gala because I think he offers more upside, more birdies and things like that.
And then you've got that sort of low. You could put in a Matt Fitzpatrick, to be honest. You liked him.
Yeah, you stick in Matt Fitzpatrick, and then it takes you to 7-8, and then you could put Adam Scott in. I like Siwoo as well at 6-7-6. It's former winner around this place as well.
Yeah, I must be missing one because I've got 9k left now. I think I took out Willie Z.
I've got Fitzpatrick, Hatton, Hovland. Yeah, I've still got Willie Z in.
Yeah. See, but yeah, there you go. That's a really balanced lineup. Lots of definitely potential winners in that lineup as well.
Yep. Should we?
Cool.
Do you want to try a Rahm Sheffield one, please?
Let's just see what we can do with it. Should you do a Rahm Rory actually because it's the highest? If you do a Rahm Rory, and then you've got your 6-2 Bramlett.
Yeah, go to Bramlett.
Then we need a higher 6, maybe.
And then you're back up to 7.
Yeah.
SH Kim.
SH Kim.
Or Sir. Justin Sir.
Justin Sir, yeah. We've got quite a lot of these now here. Where's Sir gone again? Have I missed him?
He's 6-6, Justin Sir.
You got it. That gives you 7-7 left with the last one. That's got 3 6k players in it, which you don't need to do it that way, but you can do. And that would give you Thigala or Siwoo.
Yeah, I think that I'd probably play for Gala in that. Bit of upside, loads of birdies.
Yeah. So you're going to have to take chances if you play Rahm and Rory. You're going to have to take chances, basically.
Yeah. How about Siwoo? Yeah. We just mentioned we like Siwoo.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, it's Pete Dye-Course, so. Yeah, not playing Brian Harman, no matter how high he is in your model, though. Cool. Cool.
I might do it because it'd be low owned then.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll see. Okay, cool. I think we've done enough lines there. We'll put your internet out of its misery, Jack. Before we sign off, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the Twitter machine at Jack Humphrey DFS. The newsletter will be out tomorrow around sort of early evening, 6 o'clock. Get involved. Completely free to sign up. All the links are in the description of this video. I'm sorry about my internet. I'm going to go and punch my router now.
That'll help. You find me at _SMRF, and I think we'll start off this week with driving for show, but shot for dough. Hopefully, one of you will win second place in the Millie Maker to me. We'll see you next week.